Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week of science. Hopefully, you guys are doing well and just staying cozy and having a good time finishing up your amusement park project. Now, let's see, this is coming out February 3rd, which is Wednesday. So that project was due Tuesday, February 2nd. If you have not submitted your work yet for your amusement park project, please do so as soon as possible. If you have questions or need help, please reach out to me. I am available, of course, by email and then also Monday and Tuesday from 10:30 to 11:15 over Zoom, Wednesday 10 to 11 over Zoom. So last week, we began setting up for a new unit as we were finishing up our Unit 2 projects. And so by this point in time, from last week, you should have done the weather pretest and then filled out your Wildcats data binder, submitted that link in a Google form. You should also already have a copy of your new notebook with that link submitted in a different Google form. Again, if you have not done those items and you are confused or need help, this is how you can reach out and contact me. So for this week, I'm going to kind of walk you through and show you everything that we've got going on for the week here. And I will be using a little bit of a different setup, but we are going to be copying over slides 4 through 7. I've actually linked the template for your notebook here, or that is also linked for you in Schoology. For Science Now, that will be located in your notebook on slide 3. And then most of your lesson, pretty much your entire lesson for this week, is going to be on slides 4 through 7 in your new digital notebook. Homework or this practice will consist of a choice board in Schoology. So I'm going to walk you through and show you all of these items. So to get you started here, you're going to need your digital notebook. And so to copy that over, let me just get this set up here for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to have the notebook over here on the right and then sort of the instructions over here on the left. I know that might be a little bit difficult to see, but this is kind of like the best way that I can sort of figure out how to do it for right now. So you have a new digital notebook. And so what we're going to be learning in this unit, this is our weather and climate unit. And so this is going to look at, well, how do we measure weather and how do we look at these different weather factors? And then how does this relate to climate? Weather and climate are not the same thing, but they are interrelated. So everything that we're doing is going to kind of lead up to this final culmination of how do we determine weather versus climate? We're going to be starting out this week with heat energy. And so one of the things that we need to look at before we can look at weather and climate is we need to know something about how heat energy moves from place to place. So that's going to be the goal of this week. Then we'll move into water cycle, layers of the atmosphere. All of these things are all factors that are going to go into weather. And eventually we'll start talking about how we measure weather, global winds and ocean currents, and then these things called fronts. So when you watch the news, you'll see things about cold fronts, warm fronts. So we'll talk about that. And then wrap everything up with what is weather versus climate. When you go in to your notebook on slide 3, you have a page that looks like this. And what we're going to be doing every week for Science Now is we're going to be recording some weather factors that are going on in our area. So when you go in to your notebook, you're going to click on this box here, and it's going to take you to a website. And it's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, I believe is what it's called. Anyway, we're going to click on it and we're going to find out here. But when you click on this box, it takes you to a link. So you're going to click on this link. And this is the NOAA site. From here, you're going to click on this little box here. And I've already gone in and previewed this before, so you're going to have to kind of follow this outline here and just kind of like trust me. But you're going to start by clicking in this little box up in the top right corner. So yours will say, find your local weather. Then there will be a little drop down where you can enter in your zip code. So whatever your home zip code is, just put it in there and click go. Then you will need to click on a link that says see full forecast. And then this little area here will give you all of the information that you're going to need to fill out this table. So you're going to fill in the date that you have, that you're doing your science now. You're going to record the current temperature, which pops up right here. Air pressure, or this is the barometric reading, the barometer reading. So that's going to be here where it says barometer. And we'll talk about air pressure a little bit later and what that means for weather. So I would fill that in. And then it's got humidity, and that's right up here. Now, if you're experiencing any precipitation that day, you'll take and drag these little raindrops over next to the box. And you may be experiencing precipitation on the day that you are filling this out, or you may not. It just kind of depends. So we're going to keep this weather log and see what trends or patterns we notice. And we'll kind of go through when this is all done at the end of the unit and fill this part out here. Okay, so that takes care of Science Now. Once you have done that, you're going to go and start moving into our heat transfer lesson. And this is slide 4 in your notebook. Now, this is going to be something that you're going to go back at the end of your lesson and basically put little check marks next to these learning goals if you can do them. So our essential question for today, so you can see this is slide 4 in your notebook. So what are we trying to accomplish here? Well, what we really want to understand here is how do things heat up? So what's going on with heat transfer? How does it move from place to place? In this lesson, we're going to be learning about the following things. So by the end of our lesson this week, you should be able to describe the 3 types of heat transfer. You should also be able to identify examples of the 3 types of heat transfer. And then lastly, you should be able to connect the 3 types of heat transfer to how they play a role in the water cycle. When you go in to page 5 of your notebook, this is going to be where you're going to be doing your lesson this week. There is a video for you to watch. There is a link here to a tutorial that will help you explore heat transfer and fill out these notes. When you go down to the next page, same thing. I've posted the link again, but here's a link to the tutorial to help you fill out your notes. And there's also a diagram here to fill out. Okay, and so you're going to label this diagram with each type of heat transfer. The last page, slide 7 of your notebook, is a practice. And so you're going to take these little pictures, and based on the picture of what's going on here, you're going to decide where this picture belongs. Whoops. It's hard for me to show this to you in full screen mode. So anyway, you're going to drag these pictures over to where they go, based on if you think it's an example of conduction, convection, or radiation. Then the very last thing over here, this is posted for you in Schoology. And what you're going to be doing is choosing 3 of these items on this choice board. And these are just different ways to practice. So when you go over to Schoology this week, and let's go ahead and let's just make this larger. When you go into Schoology this week, we're going to be under Unit 3, Weather and Climate, and we are going to be going down here to this link where it says Heat Transfer Choice Board. When you click on this, your document is here. And it looks basically just like what you have in your notebook. you're going to be choosing 3 different ways to practice heat transfer this week. And then you're going to be showing me proof of your practice down here on the second page of your Google Doc. So let's say, for instance, that you choose to do these review games here. So I'm going to say that my choice 1 is review games. I'm going to go into this link. I'm going to practice, and I'm going to take a snip. And that's this little snipping tool here. You can go to this website, take a snip of your score, and paste it down here in this Google Doc. So you're going to do that for all 3 things. Some of these things, like your Venn diagram or writing, you can just create right down in this space, or you can do it on paper and take a picture of it and paste it into this Google Doc. So anyway, you've got some choices of how to practice. You need 80% or higher on these for full credit. Okay, so that's what we're looking for this week. Okay, so you may be asking, well, I'm going to go through and do all this stuff in my notebook, but how do I check my answers? Like, how do I know I have my notes filled out correctly? Because you're giving me a tutorial, and how do I know that I've done my little sorting activity correctly? What I will do for you guys, for those of you who are online learning and for those of you who are distance learning from home, I will basically, if you come to one of my Zoom meetings this week and check in with me, show me that you've completed slides 4 through 7, I will send you an answer key so that you can check your answers to those problems. So it would be really good if you are online learning or distance learning to make sure that you come check in during one of these Zoom times so that you can ask questions, get help, and I can just make sure that you're on the right track. For you guys who are hybrid learning, then things are going to look a little slightly different for you guys. If you are distance learning and online learning, then you're just going to be following this online schedule, and you're going to be doing all of this stuff from home. If you are hybrid learning, then that's going to look a little bit different for you. At home, for my hybrid learners, you need to, of course, watch this video and copy your slides. But we will do the Science Now heat transfer lesson and the heat transfer. Well, we might start the heat transfer board in class. I don't know if you'll have time for that in class or not. But we will do the Science Now and the lesson for heat transfer together in class. So that will be a little bit different for the hybrid students. I have started kind of combining these videos together because I do have I do have hybrid students that are on distance learning right now. So I kind of like to let them see what the online schedule is like. So anyway, that is the overview for the week. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day again. And I think this week for your question, tell me, well, we've got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend, right? So, or was this the past weekend? My dates are starting to get off. Let's see. This will be coming out right before the Super Bowl. So tell me, what is your favorite Super Bowl snack? I have many, but tell me your favorite and maybe inspire me to make something super tasty for Super Bowl. So that's what I'll be looking for in the discussion of below this link is your favorite Super Bowl snack, appetizer, whatever it is. Share it with me and inspire me in the comments below. Okay, hope you guys are well. And please, please, please stop by office hours. Let me know you're doing all right. Or if you need anything, let me know. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.